So we're really happy and so grateful and thankful for Civitan for putting on yet another great parade. Especially this year, it just seemed more special. A lot of floats, a lot of people participated this year for America's 250th, so I know it was a lot to organize. So thank you to Civitan and especially to Carolyn and Terry Marr, who do a lot for the parade and putting it all together. So thank you so much. And we also just want you to notice that there is restoration happening on the Civil War monument behind us, and the cannons have all been restored. And we were so glad to have this done before the 250th celebration of our country and to get this underway and to give Monument Park that beautiful facelift. And I also want to give a huge thank you to our City of Adrian Parks and Forestry Division, who came out here last night while all the fun was happening around town and worked and pulled all of those big limbs over to that side because they were all over this park. It had taken a beating from the storm. So we were very grateful for them to work overtime and come out and move those off to the side so that we could have this celebration today. But I'm going to introduce Chip Moore, Adrian City Commissioner, who's going to say a few words today.
Thank you, Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, veterans and citizens from Adrian and beyond, today, as we gather to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, the longest continuing republic in the history of the world, our Semiquincentennial, we stand on the shoulders of giants. 2.5 centuries ago, in 1776, George Washington and the founding fathers dared to declare independence from tyranny from the British Empire. General Washington, the indispensable man, led a ragtag army of citizen soldiers through valley forage winters, across frozen rivers, and into the teeth of battle, not for the personal glory, but for the radical idea that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with unalienable rights. That same spirit of liberty and sacrifice echoes through the generations, tested time and again, including in the fires of the Civil War. Today, I want to honor two sons of Adrian, Sergeant Henry Stewart and Captain William Ward, whose service in this great struggle for union and freedom embodies the enduring American commitment to the ideas Washington fought for. Their stories remind us that the fight for liberty is never finished. It is passed from one generation to the next. Let us remember Sergeant Stewart, a 23-year-old farmer from Adrian. Stewart enlisted on April 4th, 1863, and was mustered into the famed 54th Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry, one of the first African-American regiment raised in the North during the Civil War. He stood tall at 6'3", a free man of dark complexion, ready to fight, and not just for the preservation of the Union, but for freedom for his people still in bondage. As a non-commissioned officer, black soldiers could not yet receive commissioned ranks at the start. Stewart rose quickly to Sergeant in Company E. He was no ordinary recruit. He actively engaged in recruiting others, soldiers for the regiment, traveling and inspiring men to join this noble cause. His leadership helped swell the ranks of this legendary unit, which would prove beyond doubt the valor and the capabilities of African-American soldiers. The 54th Massachusetts, under the command of Colonel Robert Shaw, became immortalized history for its assault on Fort Wagner in South Carolina on July 18, 1863. Stewart was there, part of the courageous charge into the withering fire. Reports indicate he was wounded in the brutal action, which saw his regiment suffer devastating casualties, over 250 men killed, wounded, or missing, including the death of Colonel Shaw. The assault did not capture the fort that day. It was a moral victory that galvanized the Union support for black troops and gave President Abraham Lincoln emancipation proclamation deeper meaning. Tragically, Stewart did not survive the war. He fell ill and died on September 27, 1863, at the Regimental Hospital on Morris Island, South Carolina. A 50-cent bounty was paid to his estate. The payment was significant because it acted as a recruitment incentive and a symbol of equity. Sergeant Stewart's story ties directly to George Washington's legacy. Washington commanded an army that included free and enslaved black soldiers who fought for our independence. Even as a young nation grappled with the contradiction of slavery by the Civil War, the nation was confronting that sin head on. Stewart and the 54th helped fulfill the promise of 1776, proving that courage knows no color, that a farmer who took up arms for a greater cause, echoing the Minutemen of Lexington and Concord. Now let us turn to another hero from our community, Captain William Ward. Born on December 9th, 1840 in Adrian, Ward entered service in June 1861 with the 47th Ohio Infantry, since there were no vacancies for additional companies in the state of Michigan at the time. He rose through the ranks to command Company B as captain. His moment of extraordinary distinction came during the Siege of Vicksburg, Mississippi on May 3, 1863. In one of the most crucial campaigns of the war, General Grant's effort to split the Confederacy along the Mississippi River, Ward voluntarily commanded a daring expedition. Under the cover of darkness, he led men in attempts to run the enemy's batteries, a high-risk operation to provide supplies to Union soldiers that were south of Vicksburg. This act of bravery exemplifies the volunteer spirit of American forces. For his gallantry, Captain Ward was presented the Medal of Honor, the nation's highest military award, on January 2nd, 1895. Ward survived the war, living until April 1st, 1927. His service, like Stewart's, connected the revolutionary generation to the preservers of the Union. Washington crossed the Delaware on Christmas night, 1776, to surprise attack against the Hessian forces. Ward braved darkness and extreme enemy fire at Vicksburg. Both actions turned the tide through audacity and resolve. Imagine, if you will, the sheer soil of Adrian's nurturing these men. One, a black farmer answering the call to prove his people's worth in the battle of freedom, and the other, white officer, risking everything to preserve the Union and to end slavery. Their parallel paths from the same Michigan town underscores a profound truth. America's strength has always come from its diverse citizens uniting for a common cause. As we celebrate America's 250th anniversary in 2026, these stories from Adrian Civil War heroes are not relics of the past, but living inspirations. George Washington's farewell address warned of division and urged unity. The Civil War tested the warning, and men like Stewart and Ward helped heal the nation through their sacrifice. Today in communities across Michigan and the nation, through parades, reenactments, exhibits, and local memorials, we honor the continuum of service. Adrian itself has long remembered with the Civil War memorial in this park behind me, unveiled on July 4th, 1870, bearing the names of those local soldiers who gave their lives. It stands as a permanent link between the Revolution of 1776 and the trials that follow. Freedom is not free. If you go to Oakwood Cemetery in Adrian, there are over 3,000 veterans that are buried there. I was surprised during my research. There are 30 buried there from the Revolutionary War. There's 253 buried from the Civil War. The rest is from the continual wars that this country has faced. Fellow citizens, let Stewart and Ward challenge us. In an age of comfort, their willingness to enlist, recruit, charge into fire, and volunteer for dangerous missions calls us to civil courage. Whether serving in uniform, voting with integrity, teaching our children about founding principles, or bridging divides in our communities, we each have a role in safeguarding the republic Washington helped birth and help preserve. Let us commit today by carrying his legacy, honor the past by studying it, strengthen and present by living the values of liberty, equity, and union. Secure the future that the next 250 years and beyond, we see America continue as a beacon of freedom to the world. God bless America.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much for that, Commissioner Moore. We really appreciate it. Thank you. We learned a little history today. Yeah, so thank you to all your hard work and research. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. So thank you, everyone. We hope you have a happy and safe 4th of July. And let's celebrate our great country because it's our 250th birthday today. So
That's right.
All right. Thank you. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Civil Air Patrol for coming. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you.